As you can see, 28 school days left. That's kind of crazy that you've been in school for 12 years of your life and you're down to just a few days left. For some of you, this will probably be the last couple days of school that you'll ever go to. So congratulations, but we got to finish strong. I was just talking to a student before, like they're in 5 classes, but 2 of those, they need to graduate. And so even though you think you're in a good position, we still got to finish this out, okay? And then there's some of you in here that maybe you're like, I don't know if I'm going to be ready in May. And that's okay. I'm going to talk about a little bit about summer graduation, what that's going to look like too. There's nothing wrong with that. We had about 20 Hoover students graduate last summer. In Des Moines as a whole, I want to say there was like 200. So if you're not going to be done in May, I know that's what your dream always was to walk at the NAP Center with the rest of your class, but that is okay. That doesn't mean you should give up on being done in the summer, or even if you have to come back for another semester next year, okay? It just kind of, I know nobody wants that, but also know that the end goal of getting your diploma is the important thing, okay? If you don't know your counselor by now, you're probably in trouble of graduating on time, but just as a reminder, Mr. Dean's the beginning of the alphabet, Ms. Levang is the middle, Ms. Stribling is the end. They are the people to talk to if you have questions about your credits or your grades or anything like that. So just make sure you are checking in with them. Looking ahead for after graduation, there's a survey that we're going to take. We did it at the last meeting, so some of you might be done with it already. But it basically just asks you, what is your plan for when you get done with school? You don't have to know this set in stone. It's just going to ask you, are you planning on working? Are you planning on going to a 2-year school, a 4-year school? You plan on joining the military, trade school? Just what are you thinking about, so that then hopefully in a couple years we can see you back at Hoover and we can talk about how big of a success you are at doing whatever you want to do, okay? It might be a little too late for scholarships, but there are still scholarships out there. That's something that you should talk to your counselor about, especially if you want to go to a 2 or a 4-year school. With that, if you need a transcript, you see Miss DeGuy, she's standing back there, but her office is just in the main office. If you just ask, I need help with the transcript, they will direct you to Miss DeGuy. And then if you're thinking about playing sports or doing actually really any activity when you go to school after Hoover, make sure you talk to Mr. Burke about any questions with that. Ms. Hamilton wanted me to put in a plug for the yearbook. You can still buy a yearbook. They are $65. She told me you can still send in your senior picture by this weekend. So she gave an extension off this date that's on here. But that's what you're shaking your head, Annika, but she told me today that you could still send it in.
I wasn't shaking my head because of that.
Oh, okay, sorry. You do not have to do a senior picture. Remember, if you don't do one, they'll just use your Infinite Campus picture, okay? All right, now we kind of start getting into, these are the things that you have to get done in order to be able to participate in graduation in May. If you have been to Hoover for a couple years, you might have remembered seniors walking around with this paper that they had at the end they needed to get a bunch of signatures at. You will get that about a week before graduation, okay? On that paper you'll have to sign off that you passed your classes that you need to graduate. You'll have to have your counselor sign off that you did your senior survey. You'll have to have Ms. DeGuy sign off that everything's good with your grades and your name on your diploma. And then you'll also have to have Ms. Fritz, who's our bookkeeper, sign off that all your fees are paid. Last thing is you'll have me sign off that will say, yes, you are good to go for graduation. We will see you at rehearsal, okay? Another step to that is there's about 50 of you that have not done CPR yet. On the bulletin board, just outside of this auditorium, there is a list of students that haven't done CPR. If you have not got it done, first period on Monday is your last chance to do it at Hoover. If you cannot make that work, there's still things that we can do, but it's just easier if you're able to get here first period to get that done, because Coach Evans will just knock it out and we'll have it done. If you can't make it then there are some other options that you'll just talk to me about what we can do. Yeah.
What if you're already certified because you're a lifeguard?
If you're already certified, number one, check your Infinite Campus. It might already say that you're good. If you're on that list, I just need to see a picture of your certification, and then I'll change it, okay? But like I talked to one student that they can't be here for that. There are some other options that we can do, but just the easiest thing for us to do is to get that done next Monday, so just coming up next week. With your fees, at the end of this meeting, you are gonna get a paper that says how much you owe for graduation. Some things that could be on there are things called textbook fees. I know the first thing people say is, I don't have any textbooks. What that is the cost of going to a public school. It's $70 per year, unless your household income is below a certain level, and then it might be 35, then it might be 0, okay? But there are fees on there. What I want you to know about this is, just because maybe it says there's $100, if you do not turn in your computer, those fees will go up, okay? Depending on what type of computer you have, it could be $200, it could be $500 for your computer. So just because we're giving you a sheet that says a certain number on it right now, that does not mean that you pay that and you're all good to go. Miss Fritz is our bookkeeper. You can meet with her about any of that stuff, and I will show you that slide here in just a little bit. Many of you have already let Ms. DeGuy know how you are double checking the spelling of your name. Your diploma has to have your legal name on it. What's read or what's said at graduation, that's different, but your diploma has to have your legal name, and Ms. DeGuy just double checks to make sure that everything is spelled correctly. Ms. DeGuy, if we just use what's on Infinite Campus, right? If
we will use what's on Infinite Campus. If you have a driver's license, it matches your driver's license. If you have a birth certificate, it covers that, or you use your driver's license. So I know that's correct. If you don't, we'll use what we put on Infinite Campus. It might come up later that you wish you would have had your whole name. You can also use your diploma as a legal document, like your passport or anything like that.
yeah. So what I'm saying is it would be worth your time to make sure you check with Ms. DeGuy to say, here's, can I check and make sure you have the right spelling of my name? We'll use what's on Infinite Campus, but we have had students, especially if you were born in a different country, that sometimes the spelling of your name is messed up on Infinite Campus. And so we just want to make sure that gets corrected, okay? All right. Cap and gown, I will go to that slide next in just a minute. But just as a reminder, graduation is 10 o'clock on Sunday the 28th. If you have not ordered your cap and gown, as of like 2 days ago, I pulled this list. All right, I know that's kind of hard to see, but that's also posted on the bulletin board on there. So basically, if your name is on here, I thought you should hopefully graduate in May, and you haven't ordered a cap and gown yet. So either, number one, you don't want to do graduation, and that's totally cool, you don't have to, or number two, you just haven't ordered one yet. If you have not ordered one yet, please talk to me as soon as you can. If the issue is like cost, we can figure that out. We can make something work. But if the issue is, man, I just haven't got around to it, all right, we need to get around to it, okay, to make sure that it's here on time. Especially if you are like really tall or really short, we just want to make sure that they have a cap and gown in your size that is going to be here on time. If you already ordered your cap and gown, they will be here at Hoover on Friday the 26th, okay? When we're in the main gym for rehearsal, we'll go through rehearsal, and at the very end, you will get a package that will have your cap, your gown, your tassel in it, and that's when we'll put them on and walk through Hoover and Meredith, okay? They do not get delivered early. The reason we don't give them out early is because I have had students that have lost them or got like a big rip in them, and then we have nothing for them to wear at graduation. Okay, so that's why we don't give them out early. Okay, any questions about cap and gown? So if your name is on there, on this list, please come talk to me and we'll figure something out. All right, important dates coming up. I've had you take a picture of this slide before, but this would be a good slide if you want to remember some things. Last chance for CPR on Monday. Monday is also when prom tickets go on sale. I have heard that they are $35 that first week, and then I heard that if on the second week that they are $40. So buy them early and you save $5. Reminder, you have to have less than 16 absences in order to go. Those are unexcused. So if you are like sick for a day, make sure someone from home calls you in so that it's excused. Okay? I do not have time to like go in and check everybody's attendance like I get asked this all the time. Hey, Mr. Fry, can you check how many absences I have? Just show up and go to school and you won't have to worry about it. Yes, Ellen.
Where do we get guest forms?
Guest forms are already ready in the front desk. Ms. Gabriella has them there. And then those have to be turned in to either me or you can turn them into the front office before you buy the guest ticket. Yes.
How much do they cost? Guest tickets.
Guest tickets are the same. So 30. So like if you and a guest were gonna go, that'd be $70 to go. Okay. I know. Hey, it costs money. It costs money, man. Like to just rent out like the venue, it's like $2,500. So that's why tickets cost a lot. Okay. Then prom is Saturday the 28th or 29th. Your last day to turn in work is Monday, May 22nd. There might be some teachers that are super nice and give you an extension past that, but the deadline, what I told them is they can say at the 22nd, we're done taking any work, okay? So make sure that you are shooting for that. Your last day is Wednesday, May 24th. I had someone ask me, do I need to come to school on Tuesday, the 23rd? No. I mean, we're going to take attendance, but if your family is cool that you're not coming, that's cool too. You will need to get your sign-out sheet done, but other than that, we take attendance. Your last day is the 24th. Friday, the 26th at 8 a.m. is senior breakfast in the gym. So that will go from 8 to like 9 o'clock. At 9 is rehearsal. You must be there for rehearsal. You do not have to go to the breakfast, but you must be there for rehearsal. The reason you need to be there is because that's when we get everybody organized on where you are going to sit, how you are walking into the room, how you are walking out. That's where you get your cap and gown to make sure everything fits. So if you do not show up, you will still be able to graduate. You'll just be at the very end, okay? Because we seat everybody alphabetically. So even if, like, Caitlin would be at the beginning of the alphabet, but if she doesn't come to rehearsal, she'll just be at the very end, okay? And then Sunday, the 28th, is graduation at Knapp Center. You need to be there at 9 o'clock. The actual ceremony starts at 10. I would tell your family, show up at 9 as well too. You can bring as many guests as you want. There's no limit to that, but the earlier you get there, the more likely your family is to sit together, okay? All right, Mr. Preston, some of you may know that. I think he came to your English classes. He asked you to do this survey. So I'm going to take 1 minute. If you have a second, it's just asking you about what you're going to do after high school. So take a minute to do that. Still got plenty of time to get everything handed out. You only do it once, so if you've already done it, it should tell you you've completed this survey. can't get the QR code to work, we'll figure out a way for you to get the survey eventually, all right? All right. Just a reminder, please keep on track of what you need to do in order to graduate. The best thing that you can do is be here every day for these last 28 days of school, okay? Your teachers just gave you last week a senior contract if you were failing a class that you need to graduate. If you did not get any of those and you were here last week, congratulations. You should probably be in pretty good shape to graduate on time. But if you did, I got a stack of them that were about this much, that means that you are currently failing or in danger of failing a class that you need to graduate, okay? Please do not put me in the position that I have to be the one who talks to your family that you will not be able to walk with the rest of your class at the NAP Center. I have to do it every year, and it sucks. It is one of the worst conversations I ever have to have, because usually the family thinks everything's okay, and the student is the one who's like, things aren't great, and they just aren't honest with their family. So make sure you are being honest with your people, okay? You must pass your classes. If you do not pass them, then I will work with your counselor to make sure that you start summer school as soon as you can, so that you get done with whatever you need to do in order to be able to graduate in the summer. But if you are not done with the class on that last day to turn in work, Monday, May 22nd, you are not graduating, you are not walking with everybody else at the NAP Center, okay? Breaks my heart, but that's why we go over this deadline all the time. All right, just in the interest of time, I shared this with you at the last meeting that we were at. Many of you did this. This is something that you'll have to do before graduation, but I'm going to move ahead to just this last one. In a minute, I'm going to dismiss you by the back of the auditorium and then towards the front. You can see that around the room, there is different letters of the alphabet. Over in the corner there is A through D for your last name. And then I think it's E through J by Miss DeGuy. K through P over with Miss McKinstry and Miss, and over here, R through S with Miss Stribling. And then I have T through Z. What this is, it shows how much money you currently owe in order to be able to graduate. If you don't owe any money, you will not have one of these forms, and that's okay. It will also have, if you were not in class and got a senior contract, it will have that in there as well. Okay, so it could be that you do not have a packet, and that's fine. So you that are watching this video, or your friends that are not here, these will be in the front office. Please stop and get them in the next week so that you can start to work with Miss Fritz about getting these paid off, okay? Your fees are, you can look at them in Infinite Campus. You can start talking with Miss Fritz about these tomorrow. She's not here right now, but you can start doing that tomorrow. Textbook fees, that's like fees that what the cost is to like get your computer and things like that. So it's $70 a year. And then contracts are just if you are failing a class that you need to graduate. Okay? That's wrong.